was Children's Day, but today we at Radio Maria, we are celebrating Children's Day on the Genius Kids Show. Are you happy? Yes. There is something very special about today's edition. We have some very special guests in our midst, and I'm very happy. So, this is the Genius Kids Show. Genius Kids Show is the program on Radio Maria 91.3 FM, the voice of truth, where we discover and explore ways to ignite the genius in every child, because we believe on this show that every child has a genius in him or her. Are you ready for today's episode? Yes. We shall be reading. Okay. I'm thinking that since it's Children's Day, we could do 2 stories, but that's if time permits us. The first story we shall be reading is the story of Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs. Are you excited? Yes. Have you heard about the story before? Yes. Okay, some of us have not. Today we are going to be listening to a very beautiful version of that story, and I hope we all have some fun. So our listeners at home, as usual, grab a seat, sit still, and enjoy the story. But before we get into the story, gather everyone around you. Tell your brothers and sisters to come. The Genius Kids Show is about to start. Hurry up, I'm waiting. Now, we shall be introducing the special guests we have here in the studio. After introducing them, we'll go on a short break. When we return, we'll dive straight into the story. So, we have quite a handful of them here in the studio today. I'll be giving us the opportunity. Hello, beautiful guests. You're going to tell us your name, okay? Because we are so many, we can't take your name, your age, your school, and all that. So you're just going to tell us your name, all right? And then you say hello to those listening from home. Are we ready? Let's do this. So, hello, tell me your name.
My name is Ifeoma Ebubechukwu.
Ifeoma Ebubechukwu. How are you doing today?
I'm fine.
Welcome to the Genius Kids Show.
Thanks.
All right. Let's hear your name.
My name is Chibeze.
Oh, our regular guest. How are you doing today, Chibeze?
I am fine.
Welcome to the Genius Kids House. Let's hear from you. What's your name?
My name is Chimaru.
Hello, Chimaru. How are you doing today?
Fine.
Welcome to the Genius Kids House.
Thank you.
All right. Let's hear your name, baby girl. Speak to the mic.
My name is Audrey Felix Achanani.
Oh, Audrey Felix Achanano. Welcome to the Genius Kids Show.
Thank you.
How about you?
Gabriela Felix Achanani.
Ah, Gabriela. Are you twins?
No.
Oh, you look like. Welcome to the Genius Kids Show. Let's hear you. What's your name?
My name is Oluchi Ofia.
Oluchi Ofia. Welcome to the Genius Kids Show. Baby girl, what's your name?
My name is Joanna Malcolm Tutawan.
I must know your age. How old are you?
5 years.
Oh, we have a 5-year-old in the studio. Get us. Congratulations. Welcome to the Genius Kids Show. Okay, let's hear your name.
My name is Chidubain.
Speak to the mic so our guests can.
My name is Chidubain.
Chidubain. Welcome to the Genius Kids Show. Let's hear you.
My name is Tobena Chukwudi.
Tobina Chukwudi. Welcome to the Genius Kids Show. Hello, baby girl. Let's hear your name. What's your name? What's your name? Tell us your name. Hello, what's your name?
My name is Yadeba.
Your name is Yadera. Yadera, welcome to the Genius Kids Show. What's your name? Samto. Welcome to the Genius Kids Show. What's your name? Your name is Welcome to the Genius Kids Show. So we have a 2-year-old in the studio. You just heard his voice. His name is Nya. Actually, his name is Kamsiona. And I am Genevieve Duruiheoma, your Genius Kids host. Children, remember, you can always call me Miss Genny, okay? So we shall be going on a short break. When we return, we'll go straight into the story of the Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs. it on Radio Maria. And like I said earlier, we are reading the famous story of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Now we begin. Listeners at home, remember, you have the opportunity to call in and tell us what you learned from the story, and I will also be asking questions from the story. So you have to really, really listen. Once upon a time, a princess named Snow White lived in a castle with her father, the king, and her stepmother, the queen. Her father had always said to his daughter that she must be fair to everyone at court. He often said, people come here to the castle when they have a problem. They need the ruler to make a fair decision. Nothing is more important than being fair. The queen, Snow White's stepmother, knew how much this meant to her husband. At the first chance, she rushed to her magic mirror and said, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?" Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all? Snow White is the fairest of them all, said the magic mirror. What? Yelled the queen. No one is more fair than I. The queen must have the best of everything. Everyone knows that. What could be more fair than the queen? Snow White is the fairest of them all, repeated the magic mirror. What do you know? You're just a mirror. Get away, roared the queen, and she stormed off. Still, the queen was bothered. She thought and thought and thought. She was so bothered that the queen decided to get rid of the girl once and for all. I cannot wait another day, she declared. The queen called for her servant, a huntsman. Find a reason to take Snow White deep into the woods, she said. Pointing her finger at the servant, she said, then you kill her. The huntsman was shocked, but she was the queen, and what could he do? The next day, he took Snow White into the woods, and as he drew his knife to slay her, Snow White turned around. Look, she said, taking something out of her pocket. You have always been good to me. She held in front of him 6 perfect arrowheads that had carefully been shaped. Do you like them? They are for you. You can have them. Snow White, said the huntsman, I cannot do this. Of course, you can have them. They are yours, said Snow White. No, that's not what I meant, said the servant. He dropped on his knees. How can I say this to you? Oh my God. Okay, the queen, your stepmother, ordered me to kill you, but I cannot. She did what? Snow White called out with alarm. You must run away, said the huntsman, far into the woods, now and never again return to the castle. Snow White turned and ran into the woods as fast as she could. Deeper and deeper she ran. It was getting dark and the wolves were starting to howl. She tripped and her skirt was torn. Tall tree branches seemed to reach down to the very ground to grab her. She was scratched, bleeding and scared, yet she ran on and on. Then, all of a sudden, far away there was a light. Who was living so deep in the woods? She stepped up closer. It was a cottage. Yet no sound came from the cottage, only light from the windows. Hello, she said, knocking softly on the door. Hello, hello, anybody there? The door was a little bit open, so she opened it more and stepped in. Hello, anybody home? She looked around. What a mess. She had never seen a messier living room. This cottage is by far the biggest mess I've ever seen, she thought. But, well, it's a roof over my head for tonight. Maybe if I clean up around here, I can earn my sleep. As she cleaned, she thought of someone she really missed. Before her father had remarried, she and a prince who lived in the next kingdom were getting to know each other. They would take long walks to the royal garden and tell each other stories and laugh. After the queen had moved into the castle, her stepmother had made a new rule: no more visitors. Now, the prince had to slip over the palace gate in secret. He would call out to her from under her window and they would talk a bit that way. It wasn't as good as the long walks they used to have, but it was the best they could manage. Now that she had run away from home, would she ever see the prince again? After Snow White cleaned up the living room, she went upstairs. And on the second floor, there were 7 little beds lined up in a row, as if for children. Tired from cleaning, Snow White yawned. Oh, and she lay across the 7 beds. Soon, she fell fast asleep. In the meantime, the 7 dwarfs were heading home from a long day of working in the jewel mines. When they opened the door, you can imagine their surprise when they saw their cottage all cleaned up. "What kind of magic is this?" said one of the dwarfs, whose name was Duck. "I wouldn't mind more magic like this," said another dwarf, whose name was Dopey. "We had better check upstairs," said another dwarf, whose name was Grumpy. "Something is fishy around here, that's for sure." There, lying across all their beds, was a young lady fast asleep. "Who are you?" said all the dwarfs at once. Snow White bolted away. The 7 dwarfs could tell she was surprised as they were. Soon they all relaxed and shared their stories. Snow White learned their names: Bashful, Duck, Dopey, Grumpy, Happy, Sleepy, and Sneezy. She told them all about her stepmother, that her stepmother had tried to get the huntsmen to kill her, that the huntsmen had set her free in the woods, and that she could never go back home again. "Stay with us, please, stay with us," said Bashful. "That's sweet," said Snow White, "but if I were to stay here at your home, I would have to do something for all of you." "You've already cleaned up our place," said Sneezy. "Keeping the house clean, that'll be easy," said Snow White, "as long as we all pitch in. I'll let everybody know what part they can do, and I'll share mine, and my share too, of course." "That's fair," said Happy. "But there must be something else I can do for you," said Snow White. The 7 dwarfs shrugged. "Do you know how to read?" said Duck. "We have these books filled with wonderful tales and would love to be read too." And so it was agreed that Snow White would teach them how to read. To celebrate their new friendship, Snow White and the 7 dwarfs sang and danced the night away. Let's go on a short break. When we come back, we see how Snow White fares in the dwarf's house. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. So far we have seen how Snow White had to escape from the castle to the cottage for her safety because her stepmother was after her life. What a terrible thing. Let's continue and see how she fares at the dwarf's place. The morning, before they left for work, the seven dwarfs warned Snow White she must not open the door. After all, who knows what her evil stepmother would be up to? The princess nodded in agreement and the dwarfs left the house. The princess prepared her first reading lesson. She also prepared a good hot meal for the seven dwarfs when they returned home that night. And so the days passed. Back at the castle, the queen marched up to her mirror. Mirror, mirror on the wall, she demanded. Who is the fairest of them all? Snow White is the fairest of them all, said the magic mirror. That's impossible! That's impossible! Screamed the queen. The girl is no longer alive. How? It's not possible. Snow White lives, said the magic mirror. And an image was shown on the mirror of Snow White living in the cottage of the seven dwarfs. The queen turned red with rage. She screamed, who does she think she is? Snow White will not get away with this. At the cottage of the dwarfs the next afternoon, when the seven dwarfs were away at work, there was a knock on the door. Who is it? Said Snow White. She remembered the warning of the seven dwarfs not to open the door for anyone. It's only a poor old woman, came a squeaky voice, selling apples. Yet it was the evil queen, disguised as an old woman. It's raining out here, my dear. Please let me in. Oh, poor thing, thought Snow White. Having to go to the door, having to go door to door to sell apples in the rain. Okay, don't worry, I'll let you in. And she opens the door. Take a look at this big red apple, said the old woman, who, as you know by now, was really the queen in disguise. She held the red apple close to Snow White's face. Lovely, my dear, isn't it? I would really like to buy your apple, said Snow White, but I have no money. That's fine, come. On your hair will make a really good trade, said the old woman. Well, all right then, said Snow White. She took the comb out of her hair and gave it to the old woman, who then gave her the apple. Snow White took a big bite. Alas, the fruit was poison. At once, Snow White fell to the ground in a deep sleep. Yes! 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 Shouted the queen, bunching her fists in the air. Just then, the door fell in her deep sleep. The seven dwarfs gently lifted her into a glass coffin. Day and night, they kept watch over her. One day, the prince happened to pass through. Ever since he had learned that Snow White was missing at the castle, he was searching for her far and wide. Now he had finally found her, but in such a state. The prince pulled open the glass coffin. Her face seemed so fresh even in that deep sleep. He gently took one of Snow White's hands in his own and he kissed it. Mwah! At once, Snow White's eyes opened. With love's first kiss, the evil queen's spell was gone forever. Now, nothing stood in the way for Snow White and the prince to be happy together forever. They returned to the prince's kingdom and they all lived happily ever after. The end. Hope you enjoyed the story.
Yes.
We'll be going on a short break. When we come back, we'll take our second story before we take questions. All right? back. Welcome back. Welcome back. So, we've heard the story of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. A very interesting story. Even as I've heard it 1,001 times, but it still feels new each time we read it. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Alright, we'll be asking questions shortly. I will be opening our phone lines to our listeners at home to call in and ask their questions or make their contributions and tell us what they have learned. But before then, like I said, it's a Children's Day special edition. And because of that, we have two stories. We have read an English folk tale. Now we're going to read a Nigerian folk tale. Isn't that cool?
Yes.
Now, we want to know why the tortoise has a cracked shell. Have you seen a tortoise before?
Yes.
Yeah, so it has a cracked shell, right?
Yes.
We want to find out in this story why the tortoise has a cracked shell. Are we ready to know why?
Yes.
Now, let's do this. Have a seat. Everybody have a seat. Why the tortoise has a cracked shell. A long time ago in the animal kingdom, there was a severe famine which lasted for months. All the barns and storehouses were emptied. The animals in the kingdom all starved and looked very pale and lean. Surprisingly, the birds were unaffected by the famine. They all looked plump and healthy. When the tortoise noticed this, he decided to find out from the birds how they managed to stay fresh and plump. My darling flying friends, could you please tell me where and how you find food to stay this good? Knowing tortoise's cunning nature, the birds were unwilling to tell him, but the tortoise persisted. If you don't help me, I'll die. Please help a brother in need. Forgive all my wrongdoings and help me just this once. I promise not to leak your secrets to anyone. The birds, having pity on him, said, Okay, we'll tell you, but you must promise not to trick us again. Raising both hands in the air, Tortoise pledged, You have my word. I promise I will not trick anybody ever again. They told him about the feasts they usually held high up in the heavens for anyone who could make it up there. The tortoise thought about it and realized that it would be impossible for him to get to the heavens because he had no wings. However, an idea struck him. He said, If only each of you would just lend me a feather to attach to my back, that could serve as a wing to help me fly. The birds thought about it and said, Well, since we've already told him the secret, we might as well just help him to fly. The birds agreed and they gave him a feather to attach to his body to form wings. Before they left, Tortoise said, Please, can I be allowed to take a new name, please? I don't want the host of heaven to know that I am the cunning tortoise, you know? I don't have such a good reputation. Please, can I just take a new name since I'm already a changed person? After thinking about it, the tortoise said he should be called, okay, they agreed. The other birds agreed, and after thinking about it, the tortoise proposed that he should be called All of You. My new name is All of You. And so, I felt, okay, that's not a problem. All of you, and he said yes. All of you, yes. Hope you won't forget your name. He said not at all. All of you, yes, he answered. I said, okay, that's a true name. Your name is now All of You. And so they left. When they arrived to the heavens, they were welcomed by the host of heaven and led to the table where a banquet was prepared. This food is for all of you, said the host of heaven. At that point, the tortoise stepped forward and reminded them, Hello friends, remember my name is All of You, so this food belongs to me. The birds were astonished. But they didn't, well, they said maybe this is for tortoise as they come. He then went ahead and ate the entire food. Then the drinks came for all of you, and tortoise drank it all. They also brought takeaway packs for all of you, which tortoise took all to himself. When he was done, his shell shone bright like the sun, and he was also plump. The birds were very angry with him, and they all agreed to take back their feathers, leaving him with no wings. The tortoise, you have tricked us again. You promised not to trick us, but you tricked us by taking a new name. Give us our feathers. The tortoise, however, returned their feathers to them and prayed, please, please, help me take a message back to my wife. Please, I know I don't deserve a favor from you, but just do this for me. Tell my wife to bring out all the soft things in the house. Bring out the mattress, the feathers, the pillows, every soft thing in the house. Please tell her to bring them all out and put them out under the heavens, so that when I jump, I'll land softly. The birds agreed to take the message, but when they got to the tortoise house, they changed their mind. Tortoise does not deserve this favor from us. Tortoise has tricked us, even after he promised not to trick us. So they said to his wife, your husband has instructed that you bring out all the strong and hard materials in this house. Bring out all the knives, the nails, the shovels, the pins, bring them all out. He wants to take a picture of them from the heavens. When the tortoise saw his wife bringing out things, when he peeped from the heaven and saw his wife bringing out things, he was assured that he was going to have a safe landing. When she had finished, the tortoise now took a huge leap from the heavens and crashed into the hard materials. His smooth shell shattered into several pieces. It took the best healer in the land to put his shell together. Thus, until today, the tortoise has a broken shell as a reminder of what his greed cost him. The end. Hope we enjoyed the story.
Yes.
So we shall be going on a short break, and when we return, our lines will be open for our guests at home to call in and tell us what they learned from any of the stories we read today. So the number to call is 081 084 47518. I'll take that again. 081 084 47518. See you shortly. Moon. Happy Children's Day once again to all the lovely children. And thank you for tuning in to Genuis Kids Show today. I am sure you enjoyed the special package we had for you. So we read two stories today, the story of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And then we read the story of Tortoise and his cracked back. How the tortoise came about having a cracked back. Now it's time for you, our listeners at home, to call in and tell us what you learned from the story. But as we wait for your call to come in, remember the number to call is 081 084 47518. Again, 081 084 47518. We have our first caller of the day. Hello. Hello. Hello, good morning. Hello, I can hear you. We can hear you. Good morning. Can you hear us? I think network is bad. You know what? End the call and call us back again. We'll be waiting. So remember the number to call is 081 084 47518. Call us and tell us what you learned from either of the stories, okay? Now for our guests here in the studio, I want to be sure you were listening, okay? I want to be sure. There was something that happened in the land which even made people to get hungry. What's that called? Who knows? Francis, do you know? What?
A famine.
Speak up so people can hear you.
Famine.
A famine, that's correct. Okay, we have a caller. Hello, good morning. Morning. Please, what's your name and where are you calling from? Are you serious? Oh, we have a caller from Abuja that is from Ebonyi State. All right, so Annabelle, tell us, did you learn anything from the story, and which of the stories will you be speaking to us about?
I learned a lot from the two stories, but I'll be talking about the character
Okay. Okay. So what? Exactly. After all his promise, he broke his word. Exactly. Is his greed. Okay, let me speak to your sister Annabelle. Hello, good morning. What's your name?
My name is
Thank you. Did you hear that? Someone is wishing you happy Children's Day. What do you say?
Thank you.
Okay. Hello, baby. Happy Children's Day. Oh, sweetheart, it's your first Children's Day. Happy Children's Day. We love you. All right. Okay, what did you learn? Exactly, exactly. The stepmother was wicked and she got served. What she wanted for others, she eventually got for herself. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Thank you. Goodbye. Okay, we have another caller. Hello. Hello. Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from? Oh, darling Elizabeth, I missed you. You didn't call me last weekend. Why didn't you call? I was waiting for your call. All the same, happy Children's Day, Elizabeth. Hope you're doing well. So what did you learn from today's story? Who in that story? Oh, that's this Elizabeth always listens. You see? Well done, Elizabeth, and this is for you. Congratulations. Well done. Thanks for calling. We love you. Mhm. Hello, we have another caller. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. We lost that call. All right. Now, Francis answered the very first question that there was famine in the land. That was why the animals were very hungry. We have another call. Hello, good morning. Morning. Please tell us your name and where you're calling from. You're doing well, thank you. So please, what's your name and where are you calling from? Hello, we lost that call. All right, for our guests here in the studio, who can tell me how many dwarfs we had in the story? Then I'll point. Do you know how many dwarfs there were in the story of Snow White? Do you know how many dwarfs?
7 dwarfs.
That's correct, Joanne! Well done, well done. John was listening. More questions. With what did the stepmother trick Snow White? With what did she trick Snow White? No. If I don't point at you, don't answer, or I'll help you out of the studio. So with what did the stepmother trick Snow White? And that question goes to Chidubem. Chidubem, with what did the stepmother trick Snow White? Let me ask Chimelum, with what did the with stepmother trick? What? Poisoned apple. Chimelum always listens. Okay, that's nice. Now, another question for our guest here in the studio is are we ready to answer this?
Yes.
What name did the tortoise take when they were going to heaven to eat? What name did the tortoise? Gabriela, answer that.
He took the name all of you.
All of you, that's correct. I hope you won't go home today and change your name to all of you. Eh? Okay. Now, another question for our guest here in the studio. Okay. Who helped wake Snow White up from her sleep? Who woke Snow White up from her sleep? Who woke Snow White? Let's who is Ifoma? Alright.
The prince.
The prince! That's correct! Well done, Ifoma. Very brilliant answer. So, now, how did the prince wake Snow White from her sleep? Wait, I have to ask you first before. The question is for Audrey. How did the prince wake Snow White from her sleep?
By holding her hand and putting her face on her hand.
Oh, that's correct. Very well done, Audrey. You were listening. Good job. So, another question. Who did the stepmother commission to kill Snow White? Who did the stepmother commission to kill Snow White? Chibaze, answer that.
The hunter.
The huntsman. Yeah, that's correct. The huntsman. She commissioned him to kill Snow White. So from this story, we forgot to give him a clap. Now give Chibaze a clap. Thank you. Yadera has become our clap mistress. So she will help us with the claps. Okay. So now another question. Are we ready?
Yes.
does it mean to be fair? From this story, we were taught to be fair. But it seems the stepmother didn't understand that. She would always go to her mirror, mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all. Maybe she really didn't know what it meant to be fair. So what does it mean to be fair? Who knows? Remember, the king told his daughter to always be fair. We have a call. Let's take the call. Hello. Good morning. Please tell us. Same to you. We are all children here. Thank you. So, did you listen to our stories? All right. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Giovanni and I'm calling from Imo State. I'm here in Abuja.
Okay. Giovanni from Imo State that is in Abuja. Thanks for calling in. So, what contribution do you have to make?
We wanted to say that we learned from the Tortoise story that you should always be kind to other people and not take other people. And then from the Tortoise story, we learned that happiness would equal to your own soul.
Wow. Did we hear that, children?
Yes.
Did we hear that from the Snow White story? Giovanni just told us that we shouldn't be wicked to people.
Yeah.
And then from the Tortoise story, that greed will lead to people's downfall. Please, a big clap for Giovanni. Well done. Thanks for calling. We love you. Bye-bye. Our listeners at home, remember the number to call is 081-084-475-18. Okay? Now, there's something the seven dwarfs taught us. Who can tell us what the seven dwarfs taught us? What lesson can we learn from the seven dwarfs? Okay? Who knows? If you know, let me know. All right? Audrey, let's hear you.
The lesson I learned from this story is that it's not to be greedy.
From the seven dwarfs, what are those dwarfs from their character in that story, from the role they played? What have they taught us? Ifoma, what?
They were kind and humble.
They were kind. The dwarfs were kind. They saw that Snow White had no place to go, and they were kind to Snow White. So I want us all to remember that and always show kindness to people who are in need. But you have to be careful. It's okay to be kind, but you must also be careful. Snow White was kind, but she wasn't careful enough, and that was what made her open the door to a stranger. Are you supposed to let strangers into your house?
No.
She could have just peeped through the window and done whatever she wanted to do, or she could have said, "Come back later, I'm not the owner of this house." You know, that would have saved her. But she opened the door because she was kind. Yes, she was kind, but you need to be careful. That you're kind does not mean anybody that comes with a story, you let the person in. That could be really dangerous. Remember the other time we read the story of the Little Red Riding Hood, and we also talked about how to behave around strangers. You do not know strangers. Some strangers may be nice, some may not be nice. Because you do not know, don't even let them in at all, okay? So when your mommy tells you something, don't let strangers into the home. Obey, even if they come with the best of stories. I am so hungry, I have not eaten, please open the door for me. Be very careful. And last week, we learned about a new word, and the word was disguise. And we read that word again today, right?
Yes.
So who disguised himself or herself in this story? Who disguised himself? I want someone who hasn't spoken. Who disguised himself in this story? Do you know?
The queen.
Exactly. That's correct. Give him a big clap. Now, I want us to, okay, each of you will have the opportunity to tell me what you learned from the story. Any of the stories you like. We'll be taking it in turns. Everybody will have opportunity to speak. So, the first on my list, Francis, what did you learn from the story?
I learned that we should not be greedy and we should be kind to other people.
So, who taught taught you not to be greedy from the story?
The person who taught me not to be greedy was the tortoise.
The
Because he was
tortoise.
greedy, his shell broke.
Exactly. Very brilliant lesson. Give him a clap. Audrey, what did you learn from the story?
What I learned from the story was that we should be kind and not selfish.
Exactly. And who taught us that?
No one.
Beautiful. A big clap for Audrey. Gabriela, what did you learn from the story?
I learned that we should be helpful to people.
Exactly. So who was helpful in any of these stories?
Snow White.
Who was helpful there?
Snow White.
Snow White. Who did Snow White help?
The dwarfs.
The dwarfs. Oh, by cleaning their room. Brilliant lesson. Well done. Okay, Oluchi, what did you learn?
I learned that we shouldn't be envious of others, just like the queen was envious of Snow White.
Very brilliant lesson. Joanne, what did you learn?
Wow.
Aww.
What did you learn?
Okay, Chidubem, what did you learn? Okay, you learned that Snow White is kind, so we should learn to be kind like Snow White. After all, that's what it means to be fair, right?
Yes.
The king was trying to get the... Why am I saying the answer? I want someone here to tell me what it means to be fair. So very well done, Chidubem. So then now, what did you learn from the story?
I learned not to be wicked.
You learned not to be wicked. Who taught us that?
The queen.
Excellent. So what did you learn? You learned to listen to stories, right? Beautiful. Yeah, Dara, what did you learn? You learned to be a good girl, right? Good. Kansiona, what did you learn? You learned to beat me. Who beat this baby? Huh? We need to beat that queen. Because it has to be the queen. Sorry, baby, okay? So, Ifeoma, what did you
I
learn?
learned that we should be kind and humble like Snow White, and also careful.
Exactly. Beautiful lesson. Chibezo, what did you learn?
I learned that you should always help the needy
You
in
should,
time of trouble.
okay, but you should be careful too.
Yes.
Who helps the needy in time of trouble?
The seven dwarfs.
Excellent. Chimano, what did you learn? Come close. We can't hear you. We should be kind to people. Excellent. So, who will tell me what it means to be fair? What it means to be fair? Francis.
To be just and to be kind.
To be just and to be kind. Justice means with kindness. When you give people their due, when you pay for services, when you realize that people being nice to you also have to be nice to them. It was okay that dwarfs took him Snow White, but Snow White wanted to do something in return for them, and that's because she is fair. So let's all try to be fair. Okay, Chibeze, you?
That we should be equal to everybody. That
We should
everybody
treat
should
people equally. So that brings us to the end of our show today. But before we go, we all deserve a special round of applause. The Genius Kids Clap, right? Are we ready to do it?
Yes.
Do we know how to do the Genius Kids Clap?
Yes.
Okay. You begin to clap progressively using one finger, and then with 2 fingers, and then with 3 fingers, with 4 fingers, and then you give a big clap. All right? So you follow me as I give you indications to increase. Now let's go. It's drizzling. It's drizzling. Everybody, it's drizzling. It's raining. It's raining. It's showering. It's showering. It's pouring. It's and the thunder. And the thunder. Well done, everybody. Thanks for coming. And don't forget that I love you. See you again next week. Same time, same station. Bye-bye.